more gears available. You have the pick with the Syndra QE as well as Targ stuns. You have a lot of ability to get value if you control vision and opponents are forced to face check. You also have quite a lot of scaling compared to that of your opponent. And so Griffin's team composition will end up coming down to just Zoe Bubbles if the game goes late enough, and that's not a very good feeling. Now, Griffin, they're going to be able to find success most likely down there in bot lane. That was some I'm not sure if that was...
Yeah, that is kind of off.
Yeah, that's some Monka W.
Yeah, Monka?
Monka. Why? Go ahead, say
Why
it.
is every O to you an O sound nowadays after coming to Korea? Like, some O's are ahs and uhs.
Some O's are silent.
True.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I was thinking of him too.
Yeah. Our favorite champion. He didn't get picked today. Good
he didn't
old.
Get picked. Yeah.
But maybe later. Maybe later we'll see him pop up. It truly is a shame. All of his letters are silent, so he has to prove himself through his gameplay and not his name. Either way, guys, we do have another game coming in. Hanwha Life versus Griffin. Match 27. Nearly a third of the way through. We got the end of this week, and then we are a third, basically.
Yeah, we're almost... I mean, we're very close, actually, the second round. And then it goes down to 4 games a week. Or 4 days a week.
True.
In the second round. Listen to Nar.
For some reason, that sounds really loud in our headsets.
You need to just listen to him.
Well,
now, can you translate what he said?
He said, "Shugi, shugi, shugi." Obviously. What do you mean?
And what does that mean?
You can't translate that?
What does it mean?
It means I'm happy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm so glad Nar's happy.
Yeah, me too. He got a good matchup. He's feeling happy.
Now, he has Taste of Blood up there against Set. And the thing is the matchup, it really just isn't that favorable. The other thing that is problematic about this is it's red side Nar, red side Sejuani.
Ugh.
And it's going to be so hard.
Look at this win rate.
Sword is 10-2 on the Nar in LCK. Now, again, a lot of these stats about Griffin, they are from the Griffin of yesteryear.
Yes.
And that is a very important thing to remember because this team is no longer the same at all as Haru is ready to sin.
Well, gonna avoid that flash. The stun is gonna get her out, but do they have the damage? One more auto! Oh, he's gonna get away. And Haru's gank isn't amounting to a kill at the end of it all. They get the flash away from Irove because he had to flash the stun.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't enough.
And the other thing about this that I guess we didn't touch on a little bit earlier is we noticed that Irove, he has heal on the Karma. And that's actually going to let him scale even better into the later stages and allow Viper to scale even better by having that barrier. So he'll have a little bit of extra combat stats in the later stages of the game. Tempt, taking his time here with the minion waves, has the corrupting potion against the Zoe. I really don't know what this trend is with the minion dematerializers. It's popping up a lot lately. And yeah, here we have it. This is the counter match.
That's what I was saying. He was really happy about his counter match.
It really just blows my mind. It's the same thing as when players pick Mordekaiser into set. And it's
what
like
are some good counters into set?
Well, Set has some counters. Mostly mages. Soraka obviously eviscerates them.
Yes.
And
I know you love Soraka, but
Fiora can actually beat him as well. Renekton can beat him, but then inevitably does end up getting outscaled.
Yeah.
So
has
that is
a good laning phase against him.
Syndra is able to do pretty good against him. Azir is able to do okay against him.
What about Kennen?
No.
No? It's just like another version of Gnar.
Too close quarter combat. not super reliable enough. Set's just able to itemize so effectively against the Kennen as well. And so part of the issue is that there's a few champions that end up beating him, and the way that you end up actually beating him is team compositionally. You just deny him ultimate targets, and then you try to outscale him, but so many teams in the LCK are trying to actually just beat him straight up, which is so peculiar.
I mean, that's what they normally do. You
Yeah.
know, that's normally how they answer their problems. They're like, what beats this in lane? Let's play that.
Well.
Ooh, going for the stun, but he's low on
but
mana.
he's So, because Ucal has heal as well, you look at that trade as if it was almost a mistake, because when there's no lethal present by the Syndra there, you have to wonder why even bother trading. You just end up delaying your recall, and now Ucal, staying in mid lane, is going to be able to crash this wave. Tempt doesn't have teleport. He's going to end up missing some minions. And already we're 5 minutes in, Ucal going to find himself with an advantage. And take a look at the recall as well. Double control ward on Tempt, even though his team is the one that's allowed to be defensive. You don't need to invest so much into vision super early. And then the Sapphire Crystal as well as the Dark Seal. So very defensive out of Hanwha life, as again we're taking a look at that counter matchup.
Hey, I mean, he's keeping up in CS.
Yeah.
He's not countering, but, you know, at least he's not getting wrecked. Notice there were 2 missing pings in the mid lane when the Syndra wasn't there by Ucal. And you were talking about, you know, managing that wave and stuff and how Tempt didn't do a very good job. It almost felt like Ucal said, there's no way he just went back and mismanaged this wave in this way. He must be going somewhere. Or he mismanaged it and he did go back. Either way, the win is going to go towards Ucal, just telling his team that, hey, I'm getting an advantage here.
And so far now, in mid lane, Zoe, she has the Merc Tread, so just a lot of durability for Ucal. Lots of control. That dragon has a thing for Zoe.
Absolutely. Here's Haru. He's down a level here. They're just going to try to turn on him and try to zone him away. He will get back over the wall after realizing, hey, we're not going to be able to fight this one.
Haru, he sinned really early on, and now he's down 5 camps in terms of XP. Tarzan is really close to level 6, and Haru, I don't even know what he's doing right now.
Take a look at this. Tempt is going for the gank. He's going to force out a flash early on. You don't see Syndras normally going this far up to the top side, but because Zoe was out of lane for so far, it allowed him to push the lane and have a moment to get some other advantage on the map. So nice little roam there from Tempt.
Lots of value.
It helps Cuvee survive in the counter matchup.
There you go.
If we say it enough, people are going to think it's real.
And here, Tempt just gonna, I guess, wave clear again. We are already in the little state, Valdez.
We've been in there for a little bit.
I feel like this is all, like, one day we're gonna turn around and there's just gonna be a little fucking clumpy. Oh. Oh.
Fine. Somebody call the police.
I feel so bad
It's okay.
right
It's
now,
fine.
actually. Feel really
You're
bad.
fine. You're fine.
I was about to make a reference to Jigglypuff,
Yeah.
like waddling into Lol Park.
You came in here to lull us to sleep. That's what you were going for. We got there.
I was so invested in the joke that I lost
Yeah,
track
I know.
of. Oh man. Oh, that was bad.
Well, we can see just how the composition of Griffin kind of gets forked here by sending a bunch of their players up towards the Rift Herald. And you can see that they are going to be taking it down now, as more of their players going on a different fork up to the top side of the map here. They're looking for a dive onto Cuvee. And this is 5 members of Griffin all jokes aside, they're looking for it, but not really going to come to fruition. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, yeah. Remember how yesterday I talked about that one time where it feels like it's solo queue and like a couple of people have gone half AFK and your 80 carries in the bottom lane just sitting there alone, just like pushing the turret slowly because it's still really early on in the game and they AFK'd at like 8 minutes. This is kind of what this feels like again.
Just nothing is happening. We're at 0 kills. And one Mountain Dragon has been picked up. Cuvee actually ahead 8 CS up here in top lane. Also, now, one of the big questions for me is what item is Cuvee going to end up getting? Will he get the Trinity Force, or is he going to end up getting the Black Cleaver?
Well, there's a decent amount of magic damage in the comp. Jarvan is going to go for tank Jarvan, of course. Ezreal will have his autos and his Qs, but outside of that, could absolutely consider going for the Trinity Force. I don't think he will, but it's an option that is available to him. Take a look at the top lane because of the rotations and the early shenanigans with the ganks from Haru. Right now, Lava is 15 to 20 CS ahead down here in the bottom lane.
And it's very big for the Ezreal and the Taric to be so far ahead of the opponents, because remember we talked about how eventually the only out for Griffin's team would be the Zoe in the later stages, and it's also problematic that she itemized the Merc Treads, which was strictly for lane, in order to have value there, but not going to help her in trying to penetrate through the resistances in the later stages. If Hanwha Life does end up getting them, as
he's going for Stinger. The set.
We are evolving here.
We're evolving slowly but surely.
At Park.
Oh man!
My language might be devolving, but
no, man, you're linguistically stacked. Don't worry about it.
Wow. Thank you, Valdez.
Yeah, no problem. That's, you got a lot going on, if you know what I'm saying, in that language of yours. We got a little rotation now to the mid lane, but Griffin has responded to it as Infernal is on the map. Imagine Karma and Ocean Soul, I should say. That sounds pretty scary, but
yeah,
Griffin could potentially pick it up if this does move over to the Ocean Soul.
Well, you know that we're in store for a Cloud Soul.
Could happen.
That is what is going to happen. Teleport.
50-50, strictly.
This
Here's
is really
Cuvee.
big. Now Cuvee has the Sejuani ult.
Oh, they could just turn around and burst the dragon. Okay, it's going to go to the Ezreal. Tons of damage going down onto Hanwha Life, but Taric, pretty good champion. They might have to sacrifice their jungler here. Not sure why you used the stopwatch at the end of that, but it ends up being a trade of one person for the Inferno going the way of Hanwha Life. And it is, in fact, a Cloud Soul. And the action doesn't stop there because Griffin, with that kill, they're not just getting a kill.
Yeah, they're summoning the Rift Herald down here in bot lane.
Plates are still up.
Yeah, they're going to get so many plates. True Shot Barrage not able to clear out the lane, or the wave. They're going to come over, but that's 3 turret plates going down. It puts Griffin back on the map in terms of a gold advantage. It's only going to be 200. Well, let's take a look at this one more time. So, Cuvee is there from the south, but he's cut off by Ucal, who's threatening to obviously do a lot of damage to him if he were to try to enter. Tark's ultimate comes out relatively late. And I don't know why Haru stopwatch. She ended up just wasting that item.
Yeah.
Entirely. Won't have access.
He didn't even have to engage either. I mean,
Yeah,
I know
was very strange. They could have just gotten it and backed
Griffin
off.
was already backing away.
Yeah.
They were already giving up on the dragon, so the lack of ability to identify that and say, oh, we do not have to go in, was a little bit surprising to me. I think that Haru just saw red and maybe the communication was there and they were saying, hey, let's go in on this, let's go on this, but they easily could have turned around, gotten the Dragon, saved stopwatch, move away, don't give a kill, and save a bunch of turrets in the bottom lane. Is he going to get this last plate? Oh, he just missed it! He just missed it because he moved back. Just barely. Viper missing out on 120 gold. That's got to feel bad.
Yeah. As I don't think that we're going to get any action for a little while, Valdez.
Hey man, this turret's about to die. It's action right there. Hey, there's a turret up here that's going down. Sword, Sword, you got to be careful. Lehends level 6.
And Tarzan now trying to come down.
They don't have enough minions yet. Pings go down on the wave. They're going to stick around here. There's no response yet by Hanwha.
W3D4 is probably going to complete it in the next minute and a half, I'd assume, by the set.
Oh, nicely predicted there as Lava will be able to go down Zoe. A pretty fun champion after that, able to chase him 80 kilometers down the lane and see him die right in front of her as they get the turret and the kill. And you notice the rotation out of Sword into the mid lane to stop any push from happening here in response. So Griffin just strictly getting wins, but let's see how it goes from here as Shirley is going to be put down.
And I'm starting to really wonder what might be the cause of this overly cautious play by the LCK team in all of the laning phases, not just in how they don't manipulate their lane states for their junglers, but just in general. At every single break point, every single stage, we take a look at this. Sejuani.
There's only one direction he's going to go.
Yeah.
Small little Nisa there.
Yep. As maybe a byproduct of it is everyone's just so afraid because the rosters are so big. Even if some of the substitutes aren't listed on the official roster, it doesn't mean that these teams don't have academy players, because they do. I believe Gen G, I could be wrong on this, I believe they have 4 teams, for example.
Wouldn't surprise me at this point.
So they have the A team, B team, C team, and D team, and I think the C and D team are online trainees or something like that. I'm not entirely sure how that works.
Sounds like a good system.
Keep
people within the family, kind of.
Now, I don't know how accurate that might be at current point in time. That was something that I believe I heard about in December. So maybe a lot of it just has to stem with players don't want to look silly on stage, and then it's some weird form of job security. I don't know what could really be the issue here, but we have 2 kills. We're bordering on 20 minutes, and this is another neutral objective that is about to go down, and once it does, there's nothing on the map to really entice a team fight to break out. So this is very scary, where we're just going to continue to scale up, and it's hard to imagine in what world does a fight break out in the next 10 minutes.
Are you saying you're scared of the lull state?
Valdez, hold my hand.
You invented the lull state.
The lull state is... it's like the eternal dream. You know? You just can't wake up.
Yeah. It's, it is kind of scary when you think about it. Except we do eventually wake up. It's like a, a temporary coma.
Yeah.
It's not as scary if you know you're going to wake up eventually. And, yeah, I mean, Tempt, will he freeze? No. Okay. This is one of those melee minions. Total gold going to Ucal and Viper. Very close behind, you can see Cuvee and Tempt.
And really just not much really breaking out. as Trinity Force going to be completed on Ezreal here soon. Hopefully, neither mid laner purchases a Morellonomicon this game. We're looking for some Void Staffs. We need to actually, I think, get a counter. We need to talk to production and get a Morello counter.
Morello counter.
You know how there's like the swear jar?
Yeah, yeah.
I would already have a couple of dollars in there, but we need to get a Morello counter. I think I know what my Halloween costume is going to be this year. Actually, I'm gonna have like I'm gonna have a Leandri's mask, and then I'm just gonna carry a Morello, and I'm gonna print out. I'm gonna go to a local camera store or something. I'm just gonna print out photos of all like the pro games where Morello
and put them in your book.
Yes, and I'm gonna walk around and show it to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. While also carrying extra copies of the mask that I'm wearing and trying to sell them.
Yeah.
You know?
So you gotta sell them all. Oh man.
Oh, it's great. It's gonna be great.
Well, as a byproduct of trying to push the lane as hard as possible from Lava with his True Shot Barrage, he hit Irove, and he got some extra champion damage. So there you go. He's trying to wake us up. He's trying to influence our comatose state right now.
And I mean, we have 2 minutes until Cloud Dragon ends up coming up. We have item completions that are starting to come in. Oblivion Orb was actually picked up on Syndra. Now, the Oblivion Orb on Syndra does have value right now, I believe, just against Viper, Irove, and Sword. No, not actually even against Sword. 77, never mind, not even against Karma. 67 magic resist, 77 on Sword. So, when the opponent has greater than 38 MR, you're looking for Void Staff in order to really maximize the penetration.
Especially if you don't have Sword Pen Boots.
Yeah, especially if you don't have Sork Pen
By
Boots.
the way,
Zoe
does not have Sork Pen Boots.
Oh,
so
no. Gnar has 38, actually, in Mini. And so, Tempt is almost getting true damage against Sword.
On one player.
On one player.
Out of 5. Oh, we have a little skirmish here in the jungle. Tarzan is going to flash away. It's going a one-on-one in there. Tor taking a ton of damage. He's going to get superplexed into the back here. Is able to flash to get to safety. Ucal missing with the paddle star as Griffin just prancing in the jungle. They just walk on in thinking it's their house and they get punished for it.
And meanwhile, down in bot lane, waves are just going into the void. Cloud Dragon up in 45 seconds. You can have a recall come out on both parties, but that was definitely a much heavier commitment out of Griffin than it was out of Hanwha Live. And I'm gonna take a photo in a second, but first, Tarzan going in onto Cuvee. Facebreaker comes out as Haru gets onto him, but blows Blast Cone over, and then eventually Cuvee has to use his flash because he didn't go initially. And so actually a bit of lost opportunity. Had he done it cleaner, I think that they would have been able to pick up a kill onto Sword. And there you see it. In Zoe's inventory, the fabled book.
Well, they have the items down for now, so we might have another fight here. Griffin, only a couple of flashes available. Ucal and Viper, the two carries, have them here. Whereas on the side of Hanwha Life, they have 4 flashes. So something to keep in mind here. Sword, kind of unfortunate timing in his Mega Gnar. He's going to get Tarzan back into the back, but huge bullet time, but it doesn't do enough damage. Ucal gets away somehow. And he's going to be sniped on the backside. Nicely done by Lava. But on the chase now is Hanwha Life, able to take down another member of Griffin as the Gnar goes down a 1-for-2 in favor of Hanwha Life, and they will be able to turn and bring themselves to Soul Point here after they do take down this Cloud Drake.
And Cloud Soul Point, not super bad actually for Hanwha Life. I mean, getting the value on the Taric, also having that on the set, does really help quite a lot, as Griffin, even though they have a gold advantage, their team composition is so much worse, and it's all just about the Zoe. And So, Cuvee there, finding the superplex in, and honestly, no one could apparently find the right-click key.
The dazzle on Jarvan is what stopped the bullet time. That was really nice teamwork there.
And let's do this. I can go. Charge. Pay attention. They get in. And so right here, Cuvee, he goes over and takes the blast cone. They ended up chasing Viper. He flashed away. But yeah, we're going to have Soul Point here at 30 minutes. And you hate to see it.
The double Morello.
You hate to see it.
Oh, it's the 1 for 2. You can get them both in the same picture. Isn't that nice?
And even though there's a Karma that has an Athene's Unholy Grail, everything else just going on in the game really doesn't justify it whatsoever. I'm actually working on a Google Doc that I plan on posting pretty soon. Has a ton of different mid laners against all different champions, all different points in the game, showcasing the Liandry versus Morello differences. And people need to know.
Yeah, but Tarek has heal.
Get off the desk. just get off the desk.
Tarek can heal.
One tick of Liandry's plus the madness damage itself would end up doing more than Tarek's heal. Throwing that out there.
No.
Actually,
I'm just showcasing what kind of response you would actually get.
It really is very Flat Earth-esque in some ways.
Very what?
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 I don't know what you just said there, Melvis.
That was I don't know what that word was. Life is pushing on in. They are going for Ucal here. They're really going all in with this one. He just gets popped underneath that one. Tarzan trying to help out here. Lehends getting pretty low. Is going to be taken out as they went incredibly low beneath that one. Trying to get into the back line here is Cuvee. He's got so much grit and pops them both just like that. Cuvee having the confidence to just go on in on that one. And he punishes Griffin hardcore.
Yeah, he manages to land such a nice haymaker in that fight. And now they're going to be starting up the Baron. Tarzan, highly unlikely he's going to be able to steal. And
not even trying.
I mean, he's in mid lane. He's farming it up. Now what they're trying to do right here is they're trying to attack Baron indirectly, remove as many minion waves from the map as you possibly can, so the opponents have nothing to buff. We're going to take a look at the replay here. Ucal just trying to push in, EQ into Cataclysm, as Zoe is just trapped inside the Coliseum, not where she wanted to be. Interestingly enough, Lehends did end up going down, but then they raised the turret and they turned. Superplex.
Take a look at this.
Cuvee, yeah.
Lines him up.
That was a Kamehameha.
Gotta love it. We're gonna take a look at Cuvee's.
Let's do this. And yeah.
Oh, nice.
That was very good.
I got that translation at the end. Yeah, I took that
you really
away
did
from
get that one, yeah.
Ooh. You mentioned how Zoe Trouble Bubbles are going to be pretty much all you got towards the end of the game here for Griffin.
Yeah, and
it's I don't know.
The other thing is Zoe she has 15 magic penetration, and everyone except for Syndra right now has magic resist.
Yeah.
So Zoe isn't really going to be dealing that much damage.
Lost to the shopkeeper again. Feels bad.
Yeah. I mean, the shopkeeper
He's
really
pretty good
literally
at this game.
scamming.
Yeah.
He is
I didn't know you were
actually
related to him, but it all makes sense.
A distant cousin.
Lesnek and the literal scammer.
Yeah. Well.
Take a look at that graph. We're going to have Cloud Soul picked up here by Hanwha. Nothing that Griffin can do to challenge this one.
And now they're going to recall. Curious what the gold is here Fiendish Codex actually picked up by Tempt. And Lethality was picked up by Lava.
Yeah.
On the Ezreal. Now, that's a very bizarre item to get here, especially because even though the enemy team has no armor, they do still have a Mountain Dragon, which is giving them some extra stats, and that's really working against that item. So just a little bit surprising to see. I actually think... Now, hear me out here. One shot of a Mystic Shot with Leandri's burn, I think would just deal more. I actually just...
Man, come on! Zucast, stop trying to sell your items already. Leandri's salesman.
No, the cool thing is
Ucal might just die here, by the way. They're chasing him down.
Ezreal,
He's really fast, though.
Ezreal has AP ratios.
Yeah, he does.
So, you have AP ratios. Every single ability that you have starts dealing 10% more damage. So if his Q is dealing 300, suddenly it starts dealing 330. And then you burn them for a percentage of their HP. Ezreal, very easy for him to keep it up. So the Duskblade of Drakthar is just such a bizarre item. If you're getting that for damage in poke, it just makes so much more sense to get other items.
Tarzan with the flank here. Let's see what you got. Oh, baby. What a play. Poor guy. I mean, he's not really able to do much on the Sejuani, to be honest. He's looking for an angle. He's trying to get his team into some kind of fight, but just the way that the game went, he really wasn't able to make too much of a difference. After the play in the bot side where the Israel got so far ahead, and then a couple of pushes later in the mid game, and the fights around Dragon, it swiftly went in Hanwha's favor. You remember the fight where they blew a lot of flashes, and then Hanwha quickly forced another fight that Griffin kind of handshook on, and what happened was they got a big win from that, was able to turn it in their favor with the higher scaling comp, and ended up picking up Dragon Soul, Baron, and now Cuvee's a monster in this one.
Well,
quickly on pace to earn a player of the game.
And speaking about things that are on pace, he has the Dead Man's Blade.
He's a fast boy.
He is a fast boy. He's also, I think, going into Sterix as his final item. Rabadon's Death Cap going to be the final item for the Syndra. It's going to be quite nice, so you pair that with the Infernal Dragon, and it's quite a lot of amplification to Syndra. And really, if this game goes to Elder, Griffin will have one last chance to try to get that Elder Dragon and then win a fight. It's just that all of their champions are really working against them. Sejuani, so much bonus HP for the set. Not a lot of value in her as well. Taric doing a very good job, basically, at making Sejuani and Nar's lives really difficult, but also Set has so much value. And with Zoe being as far behind as she is in this game, things are not looking too bright.
Absolutely. Still believe that it will come down to Ucal trying to poke people out, and maybe if they get the incredible bullet time where they can avoid Cosmic Radiance, that's kind of their only hope at this point. Most gold in the game, though, will go towards Griffin's Viper. Actually, as Baron is just being burst down, do they even know? They put down the ward. Tarzan is going to slowly make his way in. Haru, you can see he wants to keep this alive, but wants to go for the engage at the same time. Sword here, as, yeah, he's in a lot of trouble.
Oh,
Look at that! Cuvee,
he's
so
on fire, he's so fast!
It's unbelievable the amount of damage he's able to do, too. Has a bunch of help from Lava. Is able to put that top laner in the grave. Now they might just turn towards Baron again, but the jungler here from Griffin still alive. Same level as Haru. Gotta be cautious of a 50-50 when you're this far ahead for Hanwha Light.
Well, see what ends up happening. Haru on the other side of the pit.
Oh, they're just going for it. Look at that burst from the Ezreal. Double knock-up, double stun from the Syndra as... Yeah, that was a bullet time. Really desperate as they thought they would be continuing diving in there, but really it was just a zoning game. Viper making a bit of a mistake there. Won't have bullet time now for the Elder Dragon. I don't believe. It's going to be pretty close. Maybe if they dance around it for 10-20 seconds, he will.
And, I mean, 20 seconds coming up. Everyone's going to recall. They're going to get items. They're going to get elixirs if they can afford it. And we just take a look at this. And honestly, I have no idea what Sword was trying to do here. But Cuvee gunning him down. He's running so fast that he had fire coming around him. As Sword just ends up dying. And in our pick, Nar doesn't counter set. And
Are you sure, though?
oh.
Because in my games, he does.
Okay.
I'm just trolling you. Here we go. We got this fight coming on.
This is the only way Griffin can win.
If they can steal it, this would be massive. Sword gonna finally get an R ultimate. I think the first of the game as Haru is going in there, and now Cuvee's going ham in the backline 1v4. Able to survive for an incredible amount of time here. Tarzan just being burst down. Will survive with the stopwatch and actually does get away. Sword.
Oh, Tempt taking a lot of damage, but what is
Sword? He's too split up there. He was in the Dragon Pit, just caught for a while. The patience gonna be reset here now in the Dragon Pit. They're just trying to burst Tarzan down and get him out of the fight so that there is no more coming in. A lot of damage now from that two-shot barrage. He's trying to zone them, and the Elder Drake will go the way of Hanwha Life. And now Griffin, you gotta run.
Yeah, Griffin, I don't know what they're going to try to do here, but Elder...
They're trying to fight, but that is the last thing you want to do. I do not understand that at all. Maybe just accepting their fates and saying, well, we lost, guys. Let's go for one last fight.
And Viper...
And that's what it will be.
She's not.
Nice dodge.
It was a good dodge.
Guess it's faster.
Yeah.
Cuvee. Bit of BM here.
I actually...
flexing on him. He earns player of the game just for that.
Okay, well...
He was
Candy
going to get
Canes
it
ends
anyway.
up falling. Now, in a spot like that, it's obviously not applicable to this game, but it could be correct in some situations. If the champion can't kill you, let them live as long as possible in order to extend their death timer.
Yes, true.
For follow-up rotational play. But that's going to be it for game number 1.
Yep, down will go the Nexus GG in 36.5 minutes. Hanwha Life 11-5 will pick up the win in terms of the kills, and Cuvee